So initially I was going to make like this whole video just kind of in shock that Criterion released this Mikey Madison Criterion Closet video with her dressed like that. And I was like, oh, because it got my attention. Criterion, you got my attention. And now you got my curiosity.
Gentlemen, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
Or whatever Leo said in Django Unchained. But being serious for a second, I want to talk about Anora, the movie, the new movie from Sean Baker. Because originally this video was just going to be a fun Friday night tongue-in-cheek video about Criterion and boobies. But I actually watched the film last night. And guys, that is one of the best movies I have seen that has just come from 2024. Like, I am not lying at all. I was blown away in shock. Like, I finished it at 3 o'clock this morning. I was this close to just making a pot of coffee, coming and sitting in the chair, knowing I had to be at work at 9 a.m., you know, just to film my thoughts. But I had to sit with it because that ending to Anora, okay, this is a full spoiler discussion. I'm not going to just be like, oh, you know, I want you to check it out. I want you to check it out. But you're going to check it out anyway because you're already horny over this. So let's talk about the movie. Is it weird that a movie that's opening credit scene is a like 2-minute tracking shot, or it's probably like a 1-minute tracking shot, opening credits of a bunch of dudes getting lap dances by strippers, coming in to our main lead actress naked giving a lap dance while credits roll, and ending with a sex scene in a car that's very emotional and she's crying. Why that movie is like the best, like most beautiful movie I've seen all year. Not the best, but one of the most beautiful. That ending with them having sex in the car and she just starts crying. We're going to get into why that is so powerful, but I was really surprised and taken back how much this movie surprised me. So Anora is about a stripper in New York, and she's working a normal night at the strip club, and a Russian billionaire's son walks in, and so the owner is like, hey, I need a girl that speaks Russian. And she kind of understands Russian. She's playing dumb. She's very smart, you know, given her circumstances. She goes to the guy's table and she's like, she wants to talk English. She understands Russian, but she doesn't really want to communicate in Russian. You find out later she can really speak Russian and understand it, you know. But she ends up falling for this billionaire rich kid who at first, because how this movie is being marketed, it's like a twisted Cinderella story, or like not Romeo and Juliet, but kind of like a Cinderella story. They even mention Cinderella in the movie. And that's what I thought at first. Like, it had moments where I'm like, I don't see these two falling in love. They don't seem like, he does not seem like he likes her. He's just using her for sex. You know, he doesn't really, all he does is play video games, you know, smoke weed, party, drink, and have sex. Like, he's 21 in the movie and she's 23, but he acts like a 12-year-old the whole movie. And he basically rents her out to be his girlfriend for a week, the week while he's in the US.
15 cash up front.
Deal.
Deal.
So you find out at the end of the movie, he's just in the US for a week as one big last hoorah before he has to start work at his father's company in Russia. So it's kind of like he's having a just F it all week. And so he finds a stripper that he falls in love with, essentially. And they get married. They go to Vegas, they get married. And that's when all hell breaks loose because the dad finds out. And it's never really clear what the dad does, or at least to me, I don't remember. He's, you know, some oligarch, something, you know, he's got people he's got like Armenians working for him. But dude, this movie takes turns that I didn't expect. This is like a road trip movie. It's way funnier than I thought it would be. Micah Madison, is it Mikey? I keep calling her Micah because that sounds more like a girl name. But Mikey Madison, like, amazing performance. Like, this movie felt so real to me. Like, the way shots would just hold, like, conversations would last forever, you know? And it didn't have that many locations. And the ending, oh my God, the ending. So let's talk about the ending because I'm hooked on that. Like, I had to sit with that ending forever because it was so powerful to me. So there's a lot of sex in this movie, guys. Like, honestly, I would say it has way more nudity than Showgirls. It has way more nudity and sex and striptease. And I know these are more known as, you know, like NC-17 trash films and just B-movie, whatever. But, it's got way more sex and nudity than those movies. But the sex in it is very... It's like, he's like I said, he's 12. So all the sex with Mikey Madison and the lead guy are just like, you know, hard, rough, from behind. It's not really sex. It's just, it's fucking. Like, it's just, you know, it's like this kid only watches porn and that's all, you know. And so that's really the only sex in the movie until the very end. And the payoff is, so you meet this kind of bodyguard in the movie, and you can just, like, I could tell from the opening scene with him in it when he finally comes to the house and he's just sitting there on the couch with her. And he has like this one little line. He's just like, he's kind of nervous. He's like, hey, like, how are you? You know, he's not trying to be menacing, but he's got a job to do. You know, and he's probably the only character in the movie that is nice to her, and she's mean to him. I mean, respectfully so. Like, she doesn't know who he is. He's there to protect the son, and it's all these things. But by the end of them, like, he's so nice to her, and it's so genuine, and it just comes across as genuine. And then at the very end, when he drops her off at the house, and everything that they've gone through is over, you know, there's this moment where the only way she knows how to thank him is to have sex with him. And it's kind of a character arc. You realize, did she have a character arc? Or is that just, you know, she's a stripper, you know? But it's not the same kind of sex. It is, they make love in the car. They look at each other. They lock eyes the whole time. And then at the very end, she just breaks down in his arms and cries. And that's the end of the movie. And there's no end credit music. Like, it's just, like, it leaves you sitting there, like, wow. And then it's the way it's shot with them in the car in the snow falling down, and just the symbolism of the snow and the purity of it and everything. It's just, oh my God. It resonated with me on a whole other level I did not expect to get from that movie. And I like Sean Baker. Like, I really liked Florida Project. Didn't watch Tangerine, not really my kind of movie. I've seen trailers, and I'm like, I respect the guy that basically got famous by making a movie on an iPhone, and now he shoots everything on 35mm film. Florida Project, 30mm film. This film, 30mm film. I don't know if Red Rocket was 35mm. Am I saying 30 or 35? I'm like, you know, rambling, like my third cup of coffee today, so I'm like, I don't know if I'm thinking 30 or 35. But he shoots on 35mm film. And it looks so beautiful. Like, I honestly had no idea it was shot on 35mm film. Just because of how he shoots it, and I know his style. He likes to steal shots and go in places and make it as real as possible. So that's why when I was looking at the behind the scenes, it's like, oh my God, he shot on like real 35mm film, and it looks amazing. It's like anamorphic, really beautiful shots. The music choices alone, I mean, this is a guy who this is way before Deadpool and Wolverine. But remember the Red Rocket trailer, and he had Bye 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 in that, like, dude, like, come on. And the song, like, the opening music to this is like this pop track, and you see these strippers giving lap dances to all these dudes, and then they got like some needle drops here throughout that song. All the Things She Said, I think it was a tattoo. All the Things She Said plays one time when they go into a strip club. Really good music choices, but the anamorphic flares and everything. I just really wanted to sit down and talk about Anora after watching it. Because originally I was going to be like, Criterion needs to do Showgirls next because they did Anora and get you horn dogs even more hornier. They should do striptease. It was going to be kind of like a fun joke video. But the movie resonated with me so much, I feel like I had to talk about it seriously. As like a filmmaker, as a film fan. And I mean, I'm happy Criterion's doing it. I do have one small concern about the Criterion release, just from research. It does say it comes in a digipack, but I don't know what that means with Criterion, because Criterion is very inconsistent with their packaging. When I think of a Criterion digipack, I go to that really bad Trainspotting 4K that they did. Like that packaging, I never bought it because it just looked so bad. Like I'm gonna get the Steelbook or something because they re-released it. But I also started looking, and I think Thelma and Louise is also a digipack, technically. And I really like this packaging that they did for Thelma and Louise. So I'm hoping it's a lot more like this instead of whatever they did with Trainspotting, because I don't know what that is. And I know, what was it? The Princess Bride is like a digibook or something. So when it comes to Criterions, like I'm like most people, like I don't have a lot of Criterions. I feel like it comes off as a very pretentious boutique label, and I think that might more be the people, I don't want to say YouTubers, but just people who, like, I went to film school, so I know these kind of people that are just like, hoity-toity, kind of film fans. They don't watch normal action movies. They very much like the Criterion style, which I totally respect. But that was never really my wheelhouse. Because, like, I only have 4 Criterions, really. I have, and half of them were ones people sent to me. I bought the others. That was a day one 4K Criterion for me. I bought Thelma and Louise, which I got this summer at during the Criterion sale in July. And then Dazed and Confused was sent to me by a friend, and The Awful Truth was sent to me by a friend. And the one thing I'm actually kind of happy that Criterion is doing this is just because their stuff does not go out of print like very easily. Like I'm not gonna get this Anora 4K until Barnes and Noble has a sale or the big July or November Criterion sale. So I'm not gonna get it for a couple more months, which is fun because it'll be a nice couple months since I just watched it for the first time last night. I don't need it like day one and blah blah blah. Now we're Criterion. Like I said, I can wait because their stuff's not going anywhere. But I just thought it was kind of funny when they did the Criterion Closet with Mikey Madison and the shirt she was wearing, and everybody was like, because I saw on Instagram and YouTube people getting like excited about it, and then when the cover released, people were like, "Oh my god!" Woo! And I'm like, "Yeah, it's hot." A part of me doesn't even know if that's her real body, because I don't remember her boobs being that big, but maybe they're. I don't know. If you haven't seen Anora, I'm going to put it as a pretty high recommend. If you like Sean Baker especially. I personally think it's Sean Baker's best movie right after The Florida Project. Because The Florida Project was really good. But I feel like this surprised me. But I like how human it felt. It felt very human. And I'm somebody who, dude, I came up in this industry shooting rap videos. I did music videos full time. 99% of them were hip hop videos. So I've shot a ton of stuff in strip clubs and mansions with, dancers, college parties. I've done all that. So that whole like strip club scene was very like real. Like I've been there, and kind of nostalgic because I also have not been to a strip club in at least 10 years or something. So it's been a minute, but it's a really good movie. And given the subject matter of it, like it won the Palme d'Or this year at Cannes. And I don't think it needed this cover to really sell the movie like it's doing and getting everybody excited and like, ooh, she's half naked on the cover. Ooh, that's sexy. Like, I get it. It got my attention. But honestly, that Criterion Closet way got my attention way more. But yeah, I just wanted to make a video and talk about this movie because it resonated with me way more than I guess I expected it to. And I really like it. And I give it like if I'm gonna rate a movie, I'm gonna give it like a 9 out of 10. Really good movie. High recommend.